If I were a political activist and I were trying to convince somebody that what I have to say is right, if I were trying to tell someone that they should believe in what I'm saying, then it seems to me that I should enter a debate in some way. I could enter the debate by actually debating people one-on-one. I could address all of the issues of my opponents one by one. I could try to make persuasive arguments to try and convince them why their viewpoint is incorrect. If I were to just call them names, that's ad hominem. That's a logical fallacy. We can all call names, but does that really get to the point? The other way of going about doing things is not talking to your opponent at all. Now, why would I do that? I might want to do that because if I consider myself to be an activist and I don't really want to talk about the other people or to the other people, and I don't really want to convince anyone of my position, and therefore I don't want to develop a social movement, then I could just follow a dogmatic approach and just speak out. And to myself, I might as well stand in front of the mirror and say, hey, dude, you should believe in this. And then I would look back and smile and say, yeah, I believe in that. This is what we talk about when we talk about preaching to the choir. So when you talk to the choir, and it sings back to you, not in the Greek sense, of course, but in preaching to the choir, you're doing nothing but repeating yourself to someone else who believes what you're repeating, and then you get in a big circle. And that really doesn't foster political activism. It's not very evangelical, and it certainly doesn't convince your opponents that you're right. So what I suggest you do, if you consider yourself a political activist, if you're involved in social justice or being part of the social movement, then I suggest that you discuss these issues. You create a forum of debate. You invite your opponents and discuss things with them. And if they're rude or inconsiderate, well, then you don't have to do it. You can do it the way that we do it. We just pretend we're the opponents of our hosts, and we address their issues. And this way, we can feel like we're entering some kind of dialogue rather than being monological. So don't preach to the choir. Who cares? How boring is that? Do something. Be a political activist. Be part of a social movement. Use the form of debate and conversation, dialogue. Peace.